Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the
Latin
Latin
voices.
Voices. um, so today, it's part two of our past live. So last time we were talking about retiring. So this is part two of that. Um, so let's
Before we start, Merry
Merry Christmas. Yes,
Christmas!
sorry.
Merry Christmas. Oh yeah.
It's Merry Christmas to everyone. Um, Okay, so Christmas is a time of giving, and what better gift to give yourself the freedom to retire early? So, this season, let's unwrap how our online business can bring you closer to the life of your dreams. Before diving into our topic for today, let's introduce ourselves. So, hi everyone, my name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but I currently reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm also a proud digital business owner.
Merry Christmas, everyone. My name is Melissa. I go by Melissa Sony on my page. I'm a digital business owner, and by profession, I'm a hotelier. And yeah, looking forward to an amazing conversation on this Christmas Day.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabel. I'm originally from Mexico, but I live in North Carolina, USA. I'm a wife, a mom, a grandma, and I work as an educational assistant, and I'm also a proud digital business owner. And well, I wish and hope that everybody had a Merry Christmas, a wonderful time with their families, and I'm thankful that I did. I'm tired, as you can see, because I went to bed late, but I'm here running my business this morning.
I guess we all feel the same. We're showing off for the business.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so we also want to remind everyone that every Tuesday and every Thursday we have our live webinars. So it happens every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. MST, and 8 p.m. EST. So if you want to catch the live from yesterday, here are the hosts and panelists for that day. Elisa?
Okay, from our last week webinar, which was on Thursday, we had our host, Melita. She's a clinic of owner and manual osteopath. We have PB and Josh, real estate and invest in RN. And then we have Lalak, career and FT business owner. Roger and Renee, nurse and ex designer.
Okay, we also had Donna. She's a nurse educator, and Jerry is a business owner. Sarita is an HR manager, and Annie is a critical care nurse. So these were our hosts and panelists for our live webinar this past Tuesday. And we have live webinars every week on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the same time, depending on your time zone. It's 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. So if you guys are looking for something, for an opportunity to work from home, to work online, you can register on our websites and see this business plan.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Isabel. We also want to remind that our replays have subtitles in any languages, and our live webinar has now subtitles in 5 languages. So that's Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. Okay, so let's dive into our topic for today. So again, we want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. I hope you guys had an amazing time with your loved ones and friends. Um, so Merry Christmas to you all. So, as we celebrate, let's focus on the gift of freedom that comes with building a sustainable online business. So, one that works for you and your goals. So, last week we started to talk about retiring. Just give me a sec. retiring early. Okay. So last week we talk about the following topics, or points actually. The vision of early retirement. So we talk about why retire early, the mindset shift, the key steps to early retirement. So define your dream life, plan your financial independence, embrace. Oh, sorry. We actually touched only the define your dream life. So this week we're gonna be talking about plan your financial independence. So that's our point for today. So just put it here. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about plan your for your financial independence. So for the planning for your financial independence, we're gonna be talking about 3 points. So the first one is save smart even during the holidays. The second point is invest for your future. And the third one is minimize debt. Okay, so let's start with save smart even during the holiday. So Christmas can be expensive, but it's also the perfect time to reflect on mindful spending. Okay, so you want to make sure that you set a holiday budget and you stick to it. Um, So you want to give meaningfully, but not costly gifts. And also you want to be able to use your, for example, if you're working in a company that has bonuses at the year of the end, you want to be able to use those bonuses to be able to pay off your debt or invest in, in funds to be able to increase your retirement. So, so you got to think about saving smart. A lot of time, we are a lot of time we are we spend, but we don't think about saving, putting aside money for retirement or for those emergency funds. So you want to make sure that you plan for that, and you set up, you also for your investment. So having an online business will allow you to have that, because you're going to have that extra supplement income that you can utilize to be able to pay your debt. So if you have any debts, reduce those debts and eventually pay them completely. Also, you can also save some on investments, so that way you can increase the your income when you're going to be retiring. So we always say, you gotta put your money in, well, I don't know I'm very bad at saying the the quotes, but what it means, putting your eggs in different baskets, I guess. How do we say it? I'm so bad at that.
Don't don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yes, thank you. I'm really bad. Sorry. I love those saying those things, but I'm really bad at saying them. Yeah, so you gotta put it in different. You don't rely only on one income stream, because nowadays, especially, you cannot really rely on one income stream. You wanna have more than one income stream. Um, and especially if you're getting closer to retirement, you wanna start planning now, because what you're gonna receive for retirement is gonna be less than what you're making right now. And if you don't plan for retirement, you're going to encounter yourself in a difficult situation, because everything is going up. You know, for example, here in Vancouver is British Columbia is a very expensive place to live. Retiring, paying rent is super expensive. Um, so you want to make sure that you have another set of income that will allow you to be able to save and to pay those debts that you have. And an online business is the best way to do it, because it is flexible to adjust to your schedule, and you can do it on the side while you still have your own job. So, and it will bring you that extra supplement income. I think we have a comment here from Daniel Turinayo. Hi, Daniel Turinayo. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comment.
Hi.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. So what do you
Christmas.
think, girls?
No, Sandy, I can
Um,
really. um, agree. When you were saying all those things, I was like, huh. Sometimes we don't think about those things, about
Mhm.
saving or putting money to the
Mhm.
side during Christmas time, because all we think is like, okay, I have a big family, so I'm thinking about the things I'm gonna buy for the kids, and uh, just giving other people joy. But I don't think about putting money on the side to save for me, or for an investment, or for anything. All I'm thinking is spending. you know Yesterday, as the kids were unwrapping their presents, I had my godson. He's been asking forever. He wanted something, and I finally got it for him. And when it was time for him to open it, I pulled him to the side. I said, "Okay, I want you to come over here, and I want you to open it." And just to see his face when he saw it, he was like, I was like, "Oh, this is totally worth it." Buying it. It wasn't really something expensive. It's just something that he wanted, something that he's been asking for. And I was so happy to see his face, um, with all the joy, of getting something that he wanted. Because a lot of times, I think too, we buy kids what we can, you know, and we don't really think about the things that they may want. And you don't want to give them the things that they want if they're not something useful to begin with, because a lot of
Mhm.
times they're asking for things that they're going to use once or twice, and they're going to throw it away
Yeah.
anyways. But when you take the time to think about the things that they want and they need and they're going to use it, it makes a difference. And I'm bad about thinking about saving, or, oh, this is Christmas time. It's really a time where you spend a lot, if you think about it. You spend a lot because you're buying them gifts, you're buying presents, and then all the cooking and all the gathering. And if you think about it, all those little things add up. But just the joy of having family together doesn't really let you see that financial part. At least I don't think of it like that, because all I'm thinking is, yes, I'm gonna have family, together, and I'm just, spending and spending on things. But it's a good point, and it's a good thing to do, because usually after New Year's, people are always like, I wouldn't say broke, but in a lot of debt, because of all the things that they spend, all the money they spend on buying a lot of times expensive gifts. And I always think about Christmas of a season of giving, but I don't think about giving, big gifts. Or I'm not the person who buys gifts to impress. I like to buy the things that are meaningful, something that is going to have an impact on somebody, rather than them thinking, oh, my aunt is going to buy me this huge thing because that's what she does. And they know I don't do that. I just, like to buy them things that it's going to give them joy. It's going to give them something that they can wear or use throughout the year. And every time they have it on, they're gonna say, "Oh, remember you bought me this," or whatever. So yeah, but it's a good point, to put money to the side for what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sad truth is that um, when January comes, most people are not financially well prepared.
Mhm.
So, even as much as we are talking about financial independence, I totally agree. It also needs to come in together with financial literacy, because during Christmas, honestly speaking, we are talking about giving, we are spending time with family, and of course, finances are involved there. But unfortunately, for most people, are not prepared when the new year begins. I used to see my brother do this before they go for the holidays with the family. Before the year begins, they make sure they've paid school fees for the kids for next year. They've bought school uniform, all the necessary things that the kids needs for school, so that they know, okay, we are going for holiday, but most important things have been done. School fees is already paid. And even the holiday before it comes, they've already planned it in advance, and they already have an emergency funds on the side. So also having an emergency fund, because you're going for holiday, anything can happen, or you're at home, anything can happen. So it's always good to have also that emergency fund, just in case, because you also don't want to begin the year when you're stressed. I mean, it's the worst thing beginning the year feeling like you're broke. You thinking, I was not wise. I did not spend the money, my finances the way I was supposed. I wish, I wish, I wish, I wish. So, yes, even as we are enjoying this holiday season, think about it, think about it, have some emergency funds on the side, don't overspend. Yes, you can give, and you know how tempting it is. You're walking to the malls, and it's like everything is calling you. There's the nice things on the mall. It's like, come and spend me, come and spend me. So financial independence, yes, it has to go with financial literacy. It's very, very important. Yeah, I agree
Yeah,
on that.
yeah, and I think I mean, if we're talking right now because of the holidays, because we're in Christmas and we have
Mm-hmm.
all this spending, but in reality, I think a lot of people they don't think about the financial, like budgeting and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, they're not like financially literate in that way. And I think a lot of people that come into our online business community, when they started their online business, that's when they start to learn about budgeting, taking care more of their finances. um, so this is one thing that you learn when you start your online business, because you gotta start learning how to budget, because you have your but like your family expenses, but now you have your business too that you have to take care of. So you have to manage your finances. But a lot of people, they don't really manage their finances on a regular basis. It's not
Right.
everyone. I mean, I know there's some people that they do, but most of the people they don't, and that's how they get into debts, because
Mm-hmm.
they don't have that budgeting. They don't have, like, for example, you have your if you set up like a spreadsheet on Excel, and then you have like whatever you get on income for month, and then you put all your expenses on the other side. That way you're gonna be able to see that sometimes, many times we have more expenses than what we actually receive. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
um, Another way to help you, like for example, to plan for paying, your debts, or for example, your car insurance, instead of paying, month by month, which is more expensive. You want to pay like annually. But in order to
Mm-hmm.
pay it annually, that means that you have to have the money for that. But what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say this year you couldn't prepare to pay for, uh, to pay annually. So you are paying month by month. But you can prepare for next year. So what you will do is you take whatever you amount you had for this year, you're gonna divide that amount by 12. And every month, you can either have like an envelope where you have like different, or like a binder where you have like different sections of what you're gonna be saving every month. So for example, like let's say uh, for the car insurance, you gotta save $100 every month. So you put every month $100. So by the time you have to renew your insurance car, you're gonna have the money to be able to pay annually, and that way you're gonna be saving money, because when you pay month by month, it's gonna be more expensive that if you pay it annually. So those are little things that we don't take really in consideration in terms of financial planning, that I think a lot of people needs to be more educated about that, so they don't get into debts, and they are able to manage more better their money. My apologies because my internet is not so good this morning. It's like At one point, I thought that I was going to lose you guys because it was like loading there in black.
I think we're
Uh,
all going to have this problem today, Sandy, because a lot of people, are connecting with their families, and I think that
Mm-hmm.
has a little bit to do with that too. But
yeah, that's true.
um, but
So
I
yeah.
really like what you're talking about, Sandy, the binder thing, where you have the different buckets of spendings. You have your home
Hmm.
insurance, you have if you have your what do you call it, your loan for the house. A lot of people do it for groceries, they do it for
Yeah.
health,
Property taxes.
all the different bills that you get.
Mm-hmm.
You make a little binder, or you make a envelope per se, and
Yes,
then
envelopes. Yeah.
you put stuff in there. If you gotta pay it monthly, then every week you put $20 to the side, just whatever is gonna get you to that amount. And if you are gonna pay annually, then you put every week $10 or $20, whatever. And then that way, when it comes to the date, you have that money saved up, and you don't have to be, stressed about, oh, what am I gonna do? I don't have the money to pay for this. Especially when it comes to large amounts, like your homeowner's insurance, because or your homeowner, I don't know if
Property
you do
taxes.
it, taxes, yeah, taxes,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
um, because it's a large amount that you have to pay, and you have to
Hmm.
have it. Something I learned this year, though, is that you can actually pay your property taxes throughout the year. Like every month you can go and say, okay, I want to pay $100, I want to pay whatever. And then by the time of the year, when they send you your bill, they're going to send you whatever is left on it, and it's not as much as when they send you the whole thing for one. And I was like, I told the clerk, I said, oh, I didn't know I could do that, because she asked me, she said, how much do you want to pay? I was like, oh, I have an option. She said, yeah, you can pay whatever you want, till the end, the date that you have to, there's a deadline that you have to pay everything, but for now you can pay a little bit. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So I learned something new. And I was trying to tell my siblings and other people, like, did you know you could do that? They're like, no. I was like, me neither. So that's another way to do it too. That way, if you're the type of person who is not able to have money in your hands, because if you see it, you spend it, then go pay, go give it
Mm-hmm.
away. That way, you are not tempted to use that money.
Yeah. And another thing, utilize, for example, like the binder is good to, to budget, but also utilize Excel. So if you
Mm.
don't know how to use Excel, there's YouTube courses that can teach you, how to create a spreadsheet. And that way you can budget, like what you have, your income that is coming in, and all your expenses. So that way you can you're able to reduce your expenses, so at the end you're going to have, like, well, you're talking about business profit. um so you will have a profit instead of having a negative. Another expense that a lot of us neglect is the car expenses. We only realize when something happened and say, "Oh, I spent a lot of money now because I gotta fix this." So it is important to to put money aside for your car. So money, for example, for the gas. So budget. How much are you gonna be spending per gas? Per month, per week, and that way an amount that you are gonna be putting aside. So you know that you're gonna have money for the gas. You're gonna have money for when you need to do your maintenance for the car, because your car needs to have to do maintenance. It's your tool. So if you don't have a car, you're stuck. So make sure that you put money aside to take care of your car too. um Another, well, we talk about like renewing your car insurance. That's another one. But little things like that many times we neglect, and we only remind when we have the bill to pay you
Mm-hmm.
know
And then we'll be talking about, oh, I have an unexpected expense I gotta do.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's very important. I think this is a very important topic because it is the financial part, of our lives, is many times neglected. Like we don't pay attention, and we need to pay more attention nowadays because everything is so expensive. So you need to make sure that you budget, so you don't encounter yourself in a difficult situation with a lot of debts.
Mhm.
Okay. Having an online business will help you too, um, because like this is another benefit that we get, learning how to manage your money. So there's one of the things that we learn in this business. um, yeah, and will also help you to gain that financial independence. Okay, so the other point that we wanted to touch was grow your online business. So sorry, my voice. So grow your online business. So, by having an online business will help you generate that additional income through automated tools, training, and the community support that you will have. So every effort you put into your business now can grow exponentially, just like an investment. And when we see that is because uh, this is passive income. Okay, the online business, the one that we're doing, is passive income. So it starts with the small amounts at the beginning. We might not see like, oh, it's not enough, but little by little it starts growing and growing and growing, and that's that's how you get the financial independence. So you gotta start building that. You have to have patience. Like I say, at the beginning, it takes time. It's like anything else. It's like when you put in money, to save for a long term, you see like, oh, it's not growing so fast. The same thing. Of course, doing an online business is faster than when you put it in a bank. So, but just to give you an example. So yeah, so you got an online business will allow you to build that financial independence. So it will help you to build a little by little, and then until eventually is what we call like the compound system. So it keeps growing and growing and growing.
Mhm. Mhm.
So um, so yeah, so you want to be able to utilize the online business to be able to have that supplement income, that eventually that supplement income is going to be actually your main income. But yeah, but you want to start with your job that you have, and then do your online business on the side. um, but like I mentioned in other lives, uh, but you gotta shift from your employee mindset to entrepreneurial mindset. Okay,
Exactly.
you stay in that employee mindset, then you're gonna still thinking that your job is your priority. Okay, and you want to shift that because your priority is your online business, because that's the one that is gonna take you out of from where you are. Because from where you are, it's not gonna take you anywhere. You're gonna retire. You're gonna work. Uh, well, look at me. I've been working for 25 years, and I'm still not at the retiring age. Okay, um, and things are so expensive. So imagine me working until 67 years old, and then when I retire, I'm gonna receive less of what I'm making.
Mhm.
So, and the things are going up. So I might not have enough. And this is another thing that a lot of people also don't planify. A lot of people I see, a lot of people, my age, who doesn't have a house. They didn't invest in a house. And so they are renting. And things are getting expensive and expensive. So if you start planning from ahead of time, investing in a house, that means that, by the time you're going to be able to pay off your house, so at least you have a place to live, you know. But if you don't invest in a house, then you have to pay. And I think like rent is going so expensive. You see, especially here in BC, it's so expensive. So how can people afford to pay the rent, if when they retire their income is going to be less than what they're making now, you know and that's only the rent. You got to pay the utilities, you got to buy for food, you know and if you have any health issues, because you're working until then, so that means that you might be, because of the stress, you gain other health issues along the way. So that means that you got to pay for medication if you don't have insurance. Think about that. So this is just open your eyes of what could happen if you stay where you are until you retire. So um, you gotta start thinking now of doing something, because if you stay where you are, it's gonna be worse and worse and worse. Um, there is the pension, but the pension is not enough for how the cost of life is. So yeah, so we gotta think. So what do you think, girls?
I like the examples you've used about the online business opportunity that we have. It's the way it's like the way the interest compound. Every time, every time, every time. And for our viewers who are watching us, today we are talking about planning for yourself to retire early. So this business opportunity is a plan B. So you still continue doing your work. It's not like you have to prepare for retirement. So we are talking about preparing for retirement. So it's not like just quitting your job and starting the online business. No, you need to still continue working. And this is just like, we always say it's like a plan B, but in real sense, when you start the business, it's not like a plan B, because retirement is a big thing. So it's plan A actually, but in more so when you're starting, it's like a plan B because you're still working. And I see it just the way Sandy has said. You start working online, and then you realize, oh my God, this business opportunity is so amazing. And once you start, so that's when we start mentoring you into shifting your mindset from being an employer mindset. I don't know if I'm saying it right. So to treating this as a business, but in real sense, this business opportunity, once you start working and seeing the big opportunities that it has for you, you now really start focusing on it. You'll treat it like a treasure, whether it's that 30 minutes when you're busy working out there. You make use of that 30 minutes because this business opportunity is really amazing. So yes, holiday season is here, and just a few days, and I know people will getting back to work. So this is an amazing opportunity. This is a gift we are giving for you for Christmas, to take time to reflect and see how you can venture into your own journey to start your online business, to start. My apology. I have issues with my network from my side.
Yeah, I think we all have. I had issues before, earlier
I
before.
can
So,
talk.
Uh-oh.
oh, yes.
So yeah, this business opportunity that we have, it can really change your perspective on early retirement, because it can make it possible. Especially if you invest in time in yourself and in the business. Like, you need self development, self growth, and shifting your mindset to really see how you can make this possible through this opportunity. But I think that's all, or we all think about early retirement, because I don't know anybody who doesn't want to retire early. Sandy was saying that she's been working for 25 years. I've been working for 32 years already, and no, I'm not anywhere close to retirement. I would love to be, but with this business, it's possible. We're closer to retirement now than we were before we started the business. So we just gotta, keep working, and making this path for us, and bringing that additional income into our lives with this business. Like, you don't have to stop your job, your current 9 to 5, to start this business, because you can do it both. You know, you can do that while you do this business on the side. You know, you can do either mornings, afternoons, nights, whatever time you have for the business, while you do your training, while you get to know what you're doing. And then once you get familiar and you know what you're doing and you're ready, then maybe once you start earning some income, maybe you can change this business as your plan A, and stay home and take care of your kids, do the things that you like, because we all have interests outside of work that we would like to do, but we don't have the time to do it. So just having the possibility to do the things that you love every day and still earn from home is a game changer, because you don't have to be thinking about, I would like to do this, but I'm tired, or I don't have the time. I have to get up early to go to work, or I'm already too tired from work to do the things that I like. So this opportunity that we're bringing you is something that you could use to change the life that you have now for the life that you always dreamed of, the life that you always think about. It's possible. It's not something that you can't achieve. It is possible, but you have to really take action. You have to take that leap and, overcome your fears, overcome your doubts. And yes, you're capable of doing it. I can tell you, if you're thinking, they say if you can think it, you can achieve it. So if it's in your mind, you can do it. You just have to put in the work, and you have to do, that transition from being comfortable doing the things that you always been doing to getting a little uncomfortable to achieve the things that you really want in life.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of people say like, "Oh no, I don't like to be on social media," but they rather keep
You don't
working
have
where they
time.
are. But the thing is, like the well, there's different risks there. One, I mean, your job is not 100% sure, that you're gonna be having that job forever. And two, when you retire, you're gonna be receiving less than what you're making.
Mhm.
So that's very risky, both of them, stay in the same comfort zone. And the thing is, like, a lot of people feel comfortable because they don't want to take risk, like for example, do social media because that's the way, to be able to do the online business. They rather stay on their job. But sometimes, like if we really want to change our life, you gotta get out of your comfort zone. You gotta take risk, because that out of the comfort zone option over there, that's gonna take you and your family from where you are and take you to a better place and keep getting better and better for you and your family. But you have to take that decision. You have to
You know, you,
think.
you, you touch a good point, because I know some people that actually dislike their jobs like nothing else, but they rather go into that job every single day because they don't like social media, because no, that's not for me. I'm not gonna be doing stuff online. I don't want people to see me, or I'm not good, I'm shy, I don't know how to talk. They use all these excuses. They rather go into a job that they hate, and keep earning or keep getting that secure check every week or every month, whatever, because they don't want to take this challenge, because they're not ready to take their fears, or to face their fears. And that's something I just don't understand. When I found this opportunity, I had doubts and I had fears, but nothing compared to what I see in other people. When I found it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm capable of doing it. But at one point I got tired. I'm like, if I don't do it, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing till I retire. And I don't want to do that. And that's why, because I want time with my family. I want time with my kids. And I want to have that flexibility to do, you know, the things that I like, the things that I love with the people I love whenever I want. And that's why I decided to take this leap of faith and change, you know, the traditional to something completely unknown to me.
Yeah. Another thing that I heard recently was like, oh, I'm gonna be traveling once, like the kids are grown up and they go to school, but they forget, especially for immigrants, they love to help their kids,
Mm.
So how are you gonna be able to save for, those dreams that you wanna be able to travel, you know, if you need to help, their kids. Yeah, your kids are you're thinking about your kids now because they're little, but when they're bigger, now there's university, there's college. So you need to help them, on that. So there goes the money for your retirement too. The one that you were planning for traveling at the end. So
Yep.
yeah, so you really have to think about it. I think the best way, especially now, is the end of the year. It's the best year to reflect, to sit down and analyze your life. Go back, 3 to 5 years before today, and then think about 3 to 5 years from now. Are you gonna still be in the same place where you are? Same salary? And even if you get increase, it's not that big. It's sometimes like 25 cents, $1, $2 if you're lucky. It doesn't increase that much.
Mhm.
Um, so
Yeah.
think about that. If you're gonna be in the same place, you have been in the same place for so many years. Like let's say 3 to 5 years from now, you are still in the same place to today. So think about, okay, 3 to 5 years, am I going to still be in the same place? So if that's the case, you need to do something about it because you remain in the same place, but everything around is moving, and all the expenses are going up. So uh, you gotta do something. You cannot stay blinded and not seeing what is happening because we are a little bit sleepy. No, I don't know if it's the sleepy word, but like, yeah, I guess it would say because we say like we need to awake, to be able to see the things. So yes, I guess we're like sleeping, not seeing what is happening around us. That we think, where we are, it's the best way for us. But once we open our eyes, we can see, okay, no, there's better way for us to than where we are. So we gotta do something about it.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go to the next point. So minimize debt. Okay, so here we want to emphasize, the importance of reducing debt to reach financial freedom faster. So one of the practical ways to do that is, like I said, if you work for a company, there's some companies where they have bonuses. So you can utilize those bonuses to be able to pay, and tackle those high interest debts. Because you want to focus on creating a debt-free lifestyle. And you can do that by leveraging, the business earnings. So at the beginning, like we mentioned, because this is kind of like the compound system, right? So at the beginning, you might not see that much profit in your business, but as the compound keeps growing and growing, you eventually going to start seeing that profit. So when you start seeing that profit, you're going to start investing and paying those debts. Another good way that I would recommend, I'm not a financial planner, but um, instead, like for paying, the debts, instead of paying, let's say you have like several debts, all right, and you want to be able to condense because uh, if you analyze your financial budget and you see, you have more expenses than what you have on income, what you can do is you can go to your bank and they have this like debt consolidation. So where they consolidate everything into one, so all the debts into one, so that way you only pay one monthly plan instead of paying, a little that was going to be more. So you can do that, so that way it allows you to have more uh, money, because now your expenses are going to be lower because you're going to make only one payment. But because of that, you can start saving so you can put more money to paying off your debts. So that's another way that you can do. And like the online business will give you also, that money to be able to pay off uh, your consolidation that's faster. So it will be like a win-win both ways that way.
Yes, I completely agree with you on that, Sandy. I think, I don't know if everybody does it, but I think immigrants in particular have this issue with debt because I don't know why they think like they get a credit card and they think it's free money, like, oh, I have a credit card, let me go buy this, let me go buy this. And they don't think about that you have to pay it back. Or yes, they think about paying it back, but they don't think about the interest, the interest
Mhm.
that is really eating them up when it comes to just, swiping that credit card everywhere, because they think that they're going to pay what they bought, but they don't think about, if you don't pay it in time, you're going to get all this additional interest add on to the things that they buy in. And I don't know if it's just immigrants, or if that's everyone. Like, I know that um my parents always said credit cards are not good because you have to pay too much.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to have one. They never wanted to have one because they didn't know how to manage their credit card. But it's a good thing to have it, because
Mhm.
you can earn, points. You can earn all these different things if you know how to
Mhm.
use it. But if
Yeah.
you don't, then my advice is just don't have one, because
Yeah.
you're gonna
It's
get
a
yourself
trap.
in trouble. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna get yourself in trouble, because it's not free money in any means. It's
Mhm.
just, you know the credit card companies, they gain by the interest you pay,
Mhm.
all this interest. Because if you don't pay your things in the deadline that you have to pay it, you have to really read how much interest you're going to pay every time. And interest is really high. So that's another way to really watch your debt, and to make sure that you're keeping everything under control. Because if you're not, then you're going to have all these expenses added, more than you think, because what you bought for 200 now is going to be more than that if you don't pay it in time.
Mhm.
And with this business, what I like is having that option to earn extra income from the comfort of our homes, and having that additional money to be saving for something else, for an investment. Maybe you have plans to buy a new home. Maybe you have plans to travel back to your country. So this additional income is income that you can save for meaningful things, or save, as we always say, retiring. So you want to make sure that you're putting some money to the side, and thinking about the things that are coming up in your life, and having a better or managing better your expenses and your earnings.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm just following up the conversation. Sorry, my my network is not very good, so I hope I can be able to talk. I love this subject that you are talking about, because I think for most of us, we struggle in the aspect of being disciplined when it comes to our finances. You could have enough, but you're not spending it wisely, and you're piling debts and debts. So you're still not financially, you still don't have that financial freedom because you're still paying debts. And it's either because you were not wise on how you found yourself in that place. And sometimes it's small, it's those innocent things. I know some are fallen in that trap where you find yourself buying things that you really don't really necessary need. And maybe just walking in a mall you had not planned, like there's something that really took you to the grocery store, or maybe to the mall to pick that specific things, but by the time you're leaving that place you find yourself you've picked things that you had not planned for. Yeah. So, and that brings into the aspect of not really cultivating that discipline habit within us. As human beings, I know we struggle, we all have our own weaknesses. It's either you're overspending or you have another area of weakness that you still is still a challenge. So even as we're talking about this holiday season, I like the way you are talking about having buckets and envelopes of knowing what you want to spend, like for this holiday season, like this is what exactly I want to spend, this is the amount of money, and it's realistic, because you can say this is what I want to spend, but it's unrealistic because you still find yourself with just living a life that you can afford, meanwhile as you're preparing yourself for that financial independence. um, Sometimes you really don't need an expensive car to buy, honestly speaking. You just need a car that can move you from point A to point B. And I heard someone say, I think that there's a YouTube channel I was watching, and say, you sometimes you don't know, you find people driving, cars that are not very expensive. And actually, those are the rich people. Those are people who have really
Yeah.
financially prepared themselves. Sometimes we see people, and I think that brings into the topic you were talking the other day. I don't remember what you were talking about. Financial independence. I don't remember what you were talking about. The car that you're driving, having a flashy car and all that. You're paying that car. You're probably in debt and you're paying that car. Just be wise to avoid yourself finding that you're piling unnecessary debts that you had
Mhm.
not planned for, just because your eyes are enticing you to get that thing. Or sometimes we are, honestly speaking, trying to live other people's life, like you see someone has maybe something really nice, I don't know what, maybe they are living in an area where you would want to, and maybe for them, they've financially prepared themselves, and you want to put yourself in the same shoe. Just having that discipline where you want to live a life that you can afford, meanwhile as you're preparing for your financial independence, to retire early, and those are the sacrifices that, honestly speaking, most of us young people, we don't want to do. We want to live an expensive life, and actually we are paying those debts, just meanwhile living that uncomfortable life, meanwhile living a life that you can afford as you're preparing for that financial independence, so that on your retirement, I'm retiring, I'm debt free. I was wise, I didn't indulge myself in things that I could not afford. And you know what? I love this online business opportunity, because it has given us, that opportunity to prepare for ourselves for that retirement. We have multiple sources of income. Once you start this business with us, as Sandy said, we're going to teach you on how to do to plan yourself in terms of things like budgeting. I see we do some things there on knowing how we can prepare ourselves to that, and multiple sources of income. This time we are living, you can't just not rely on one job. Today
Mhm.
you have that job, the next day they might fire you. So if you've not prepared yourself and you don't have plan B and the flexibility, working online gives you that flexibility, because look, today is 25th, most people are on holidays, but we are here, we have like 1 hour to quickly jump in here and do our business. The flexibility of doing business online, that we can show up here and do what we love. So yeah, I think that's what I can share for now as my takeaway for minimizing debts and being disciplined, planning and budgeting. Yeah.
Thank you, Melissa. You touched one thing that I want to mention, but before we go into that, we have a comment from Martinez Flaco. Hello, ladies. Merry Christmas and watching from North Carolina, USA. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the comment.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Um, you touched one point, and I think we're gonna, so to the audience, but I think we're gonna go to part three for this live because we still have some more points left. So, but before we end it, I wanted to touch something that you say, Melissa,
Mhm.
and you talk about, I think, well, you talk about, people that buy expensive cars, and sometimes I don't know if they can afford that because they're not even like rich, like you mentioned. There's some even rich people
Mhm.
that they don't even buy expensive cars, and I heard
They
that
don't. Yeah, most of
from
them. Mhm.
rich people, business people, that they don't invest in expensive things, and especially in cars. I mean, cars is not a good investment, okay?
Mhm.
Because cars get depreciated as soon as they leave the dealership. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't recommend an investment like that for anyone. If you want to invest in something, invest in houses or stuff like that, things that you know that the price will increase. Um, but one thing that I wanna that you touched that I really like, and I remember now, is that a lot of people, when they have lots of money, when they receive a lot of money, for example, the people that win the lottery,
Mhm.
they sometimes, many times, they're not financially prepared to be able to receive that. So that's why you see a lot of them that they win a lot of money, but
Mhm.
sometimes, almost at the end of the year or the year after, they got no money at all from that amount that they receive. And that's because what you mentioned, we, like, if they don't know about financial, they don't have the educated about financial to be financially, do budgeting and that kind of stuff, they are gonna feel like, oh, I got money, so spend, 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 and when they realize the money's gone. So what
Mhm.
did they invested the money wisely? No. So I think that a lot of people needs to start educating about, finances, how to invest their money wisely, and start budgeting. So that way, they're very prepared and they don't encounter the same, because especially when you start making a lot of money, that's when you need to start thinking about wise investments. So the money that you have right now, you can duplicate it or triplicate it.
Mhm.
But a lot of times, unfortunately, people are not prepared for that, and then they they invest, they spend, they live in like the life that they want, but they don't think the proper way, to invest their money. Yes, you can. I'm not saying that you cannot have some fun doing some things, but you also have to think about investing. You know, it has to have both. You can enjoy, but invest, because that investment is what is gonna keep you growing and keep that having that lifestyle. So, um, we're gonna leave it for that for today, and I guess part three. Be ready for part three of this topic for next Thursday. So just doing a quick recap of what we touched today. So this is part two of last week, part one. So today we talk about plan your financial independence. We also talk about save smart even during the holidays, and grow your online business. And right now we were talking about minimize debt. So for next week, we're gonna be talking about embrace the power of our online business, create your alternate income stream, leverage automation and flexibility, and stay consistent and patient. So those will be the topics for next week. So stay tuned for that. Um, so for now, I hope that all the viewers that have watched us today, if you enjoy the topic that we were talking about, if you learn from the tips that we gave you, if you have any comments about what we're saying, please put it on the comments and let us know. Uh, or if you have any tips, yeah, put it in the comments too.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that can, learn from your comment, and get inspired from your comment, because we are here to share, inspire, and learn from each other. So this is, that's what we do in these social medias platform, to be able to learn from each other, and inspire each other. So educate each other. Um, so saying that, we want to say, if you want to learn how to earn online, how to have that extra income and prepare for the to be retired, to have that money for retirement, and retire early. Then if you want to know how to do that, you can register in any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the same webinar that a lot of members in our community have watched. We have watched, and it has helped a lot of people to succeed in our community, and it keeps helping many more people, including ours. So if you want to catch the replay from yesterday, here are the hosts and panelists for that day.
Okay, so last week on yesterday, which was on Tuesday, these are the panelists and the host we had for our webinar. Our host was Melita, a clinic owner and manual osteopath. And then we have PB and Josh, real estate investor, and Aaron, Lala, uh, care career and FT business owner. And then we have Roger and Renee, nurse and UX designer. And then, yeah.
Okay, we also had Donna. She's a nurse educator. Jerry is a business owner. Sarita is an HR manager. And Annie is a critical care nurse. And you can watch our webinars every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. We have, different people bringing you their testimonials, giving you, the information about this business plan, just so that you can see if this is something that you would like to do, during your free time and have this additional income stream.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Isabel. Yeah, and our replays have subtitles in any languages, and our live webinars have subtitles now in 5 languages. So that's Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. So yeah, so if you guys want to learn, how to have that extra supplement income to be able to retire early, or to have that financial independence, then you just have to register in any of the websites that appears on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation. So when you watch the webinar, you're going to learn how our business plan works. And also you're going to hear from the panelists. In this case, like you're catching the replay from yesterday, you're going to hear from the panelists that we just mentioned, and they're going to be sharing, why they decided to do an online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So in addition to that, you also get a link to register for Tuesdays and Thursdays. So there's going to be a page that will have 2 options, so Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you pick the day that you want to register for our lives, and you can register and watch it. In addition to that, you also get invited to our private Facebook group, where you get to see more success stories and members of our community, sorry, and also, more information about the business. So what happened when they register into our website, Isabel?
Well, this is what happens when you go into our websites. It's going to ask you for your name and your email. Once you enter that information, you're going to receive our business plan, the webinar, where it will show you or explain to you what this business is about. So this is completely free. You don't have to pay for that. You're not committing to anything. You don't have to worry about us using your information for anything else. It's just information for you to know if this is a right fit for you and for your lifestyle. So you have a lot to earn, a lot to learn, and nothing to lose, because if you don't like it, you just unsubscribe from our information and you will not hear anything else from us.
Yes, thank you, Isabel. So we also want to say thank you to all our viewers that watch us today. And thank you for those watching the replays. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. And also, we want to say thank you to our followers for being part of our journey. For give us a real how to say that
Yeah.
engaging with our content, and being part of our journey. So thank you all for everyone for all the emojis and all the comments and for watching us and for your support. If you guys are not following us, you can follow us on our Facebook business page that appears on the screen, and you can follow Melissa and Melissa Sonny. So you can follow her there on her business page. So you get to see who we are, what we post, and also, the information about the business. So saying that, we want to end it with wishing you a Merry Christmas. Um, and hopefully, we get to see you on the next episode, part 3, for the Latin voices. So see you. Have a happy and blessed Wednesday, and for some part of the world it's already Thursday. So happy and blessed day, everyone, wherever you are in the world, and Merry Christmas to you all, and thank you for being with us today.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.